Hello students, welcome to our today's class. In this today's class we are going to focus on the abnormal colligative properties, abnormal molar masses and 1/2 factor and related problems, or nothing but a problems on 1/2 factor. So first of all, if you want to understand abnormal colligative properties or abnormal molecular masses of solute, if you want to understand, here first we have to know about abnormal solutions. Okay, so first we have to have clarity on the abnormal, we have to know about abnormal solutions. Okay, so first before going to abnormal solutions, we have to have clarity on the normal solutions. Have you got it? So we have to have clarity on the normal solutions. So what are normal solutions? Normal solutions means nothing but the solution means generally you know solute plus solvent. Here normal solution, in normal solution solute is not involving in the association or dissociation. Okay, the solution in which solute is not involving in the association or dissociation, such type of solutions are called as normal solutions. Here you take the solution in which you can take like this definition, in which solute is not involving association or dissociation. Okay, dissociation. Have you got it what I am saying here? Such type of association or dissociation. Okay, such type of solutions we can call it as like a normal solutions. Okay, so here see, you take any solution, the solute is not involving in the association or dissociation, we can take such solutions are called what? Normal solutions. Okay, normal solutions. Such solutions are called as normal solutions. Example for the normal solutions, generally non-electrolyte solutions, or simply you can take here glucose solution, glucose or sugar solution, or you can take urea solution. Have you got it? Sugar solution, glucose solution, urea solution. In this, solute is not involving in the association or dissociation. Have you got it? So such type of solutions we can call it as like a normal solutions. Okay, in the normal solutions, major point here is calculated value. So calculated, CP means colligative property. Calculated colligative property is equal to the experimental colligative property. Experimental colligative property. Okay, so both are equal because here the solute is not involving in the association or dissociation. So that's why what will happen here, experimental colligative property and calculated colligative property, both are same. This experimental colligative property we can also call as observed colligative property. These all are same for what? Normal solutions. But whereas coming to the next one, what is that? Abnormal solution. That is our major point and main point. Now I want to change this one simply. Now we have to know about what? Abnormal. Okay, abnormal means, here see, the solution in which solute is involving what? Solute is involving in the association or dissociation. Such type of solutions are called as what? abnormal solutions. We have to have clarity here. Abnormal solutions, whenever you take, in that abnormal solutions, here, what can we take here? The solute is involving in the either association or dissociation. Have you got it? Logic here? So, such solutions we call it as like a abnormal solutions. Examples for the abnormal solutions, we can take here like NaCl solution, or you can take KCl solution, or you can take what, BaCl2 solution. Okay, these all are dissociation. Here these solutes, whatever you take, NaCl, KCl, BaCl2, these solutions are getting dissociated. Have you got it? So that's why here what do we have to do here? These are coming under abnormal solutions. Okay, so right, I will give you clearly and clarity on this, just you can focus here. Now you take these solutions. What are these? CH3COOH solution. Okay, next, or you can take C6H5COOH solution in benzene. These two are involving in the what? Association. Have you got it? 2 means this is one solution you can take, and this is another solution. Two solutions are involving in the association. So, whenever you take abnormal solutions, solute is involving in either association or dissociation. So, such solutions we can call it as like a abnormal solutions. Example for the abnormal solutions, NaCl, KCl, and next one BaCl2, or you can take CH3COOH. These two are involving in the association, or these three involving in the dissociation. Examples generally. If you take abnormal solutions, so our major point starts from here. In the abnormal solutions, calculated colligative property is not equal to experimental colligative property or observed colligative property. Why? Because here these are getting dissociated or associated. What? Solute particles. I want to give you more clarity on these abnormal solutions with one example, and you can get more clarity on the abnormal colligative properties and abnormal molecular masses also. Okay, so first basic idea everyone should have clarity. So on the abnormal solutions. Abnormal solutions only can show abnormal colligative properties and abnormal molecular masses of solute. So that's why first we have discussed this concept. Next, same, I want to give you more clarity on this abnormal solutions with by taking one example here. Now here you see this BaCl2 I am taking. As we know, already we discussed in this, here BaCl2 is involving in the what? Dissociation. Okay, so now here you see, and focus all of you, here I am taking here BaCl2. So how many moles we are taking here? Just imagine here BaCl2, 1 mole I am taking. Whenever you add BaCl2 in the solution, it gets dissociated into ions as like Ba plus 2 plus 2Cl minus. 2Cl minus. Here you see this is 1 mole, these are 2 moles. So total how many moles we are getting here? 3 moles we are getting. Have you got it? But here this is the major point everyone should focus here. That is, as according to our understanding, we are taking only 1 mole. But whenever if you add to the solvent, inside in the solution it is becoming 3 moles. Have you got it? It is becoming how many moles? 3 moles. Have you got it? So, whenever it becomes 3 moles, okay, keep it corner. So, according to our view, we are taking only 1 mole, no? So, we calculate. So, calculated colligative property with 1 mole, because we are adding 1 mole, that's why we calculate with 1 mole. But if you take experimental colligative property, CP, experimental colligative property, if you take that experimental results is coming with respect to 3 moles. Have you got it here? So 3 moles is giving with respect to experimental colligative properties are giving with 3 moles, and according to calculated colligative properties we are taking 1 mole. Both are not equal. So this one we can also call it as like what? Observed colligative. Observed colligative properties. Okay, so both are not equal now because it is giving for 3 moles. We are getting or we are taking for 1 mole. Okay, keep it corner. Now one more thing. So we can also take, this is what initial colligative property. We can call it as like a initial colligative property. You can take this is, and here you take final colligative property. Final colligative property. Both are not equal. These two are not equal. And one more thing, you have to have clarity here. Number of particles. Number of particles. Number of particles here 1, but here if you take 3, no problem, we can take like that. Number of particles. Okay, so if you take like this, both are not equal. So therefore, the result how it is coming, which is greater in these two, we have to have clarity on this. These are greater, these are greater, and these are greater. Okay, so all final values are greater. How sir? How these are greater than this? You have to focus one important point here, that is, here colligative properties are directly proportional to moles. Very important this one. Okay, we have to have clarity on this. Colligative property, more number of moles, colligative property value also more. Have you got it? So we should remember this one, and we know very well in that relations we can observe this. Now one more point, this is also very important point, that is, here you see this colligative property inversely proportional to the molecular weight of or molecular mass of solute. Molecular mass of solute. So you keep it in your mind these things. Based on the first statement, or that colligative property is directly proportional to the number of moles. Okay, so in these two, which are having higher number of moles, these are having higher number of moles. That's why these all values higher than these two values. Have you got it? Now coming to here, number of particles. Here how many? 3 particles. Here how many? 1 particle. So okay, now here see. Next, one more point. This is very important point. Colligative property inversely proportional to the molecular weight of or molecular mass of solute. Here you see molecular mass of solutes generally calculated by using colligative properties. Molecular mass of solutes, unknown solutes, okay, calculated by using colligative properties. So I want to calculate the molecular mass of solute. Here you see, here this is very important. Calculated molar or molecular mass, can you see this? Okay, mass of solute, this side I calculated with respect to 1 mole, and next one here see experimental molecular mass of solute. This point you have to understand clearly. So in these two, which will be the higher value? Which will be the higher value means this will be the higher value. Okay, so focus on this, very important, because colligative properties are inversely proportional to the molecular mass of solute. So these are higher, whereas coming to the molecular mass, this will be the higher. Have you got it? So just based on these two relations, this relation I can say the last point like this. Is it clear? Take it down all of you. So first of all, if you observe all these things, there is a abnormality in the molecular mass of solute, there is a abnormality in the colligative properties. Who are the responsible for all these abnormalities? Who are the responsible? Tell me. That is nothing but abnormal solutions. Now, what are abnormalities we have noticed in detailed manner. Okay, so what is the abnormality in colligative property? What is the abnormality in molar mass of solutes? Okay, so now how can we overcome these abnormalities in colligative properties, abnormalities in molecular masses? How can we overcome this? Okay, so we can overcome all these abnormalities with the help of one factor which is called as what? Which is called as Van't Hoff factor. Okay, the abnormality which we have noticed in the colligative properties and molar mass of solutes can be rectified or can be nullified or something. We need to overcome that what abnormality. That Van't Hoff introduced one factor. That factor is called as Van't Hoff factor I. Okay, so first, is it clear? Any doubt? So objective purpose, mostly to make us confused, they use different terminologies. So that's why we have to have complete command on these terminologies. Whenever you have grip on this, then you can apply on these relations. Is it clear? So now going to the next step, that is after this abnormal solutions, abnormal molecular masses of solute, abnormal colligative properties. Now we need to have an idea on the factor, Van't Hoff factor. So what is this Van't Hoff factor? How can we use this? All these, what are these values and all we are going to focus now. So here you see this first, Van't Hoff factor. Van't Hoff factor. We represent with the help of I. So here if you take I, Van't Hoff factor, formulas are there. So you have to have clarity with respect to what formulas. I, Van't Hoff factor is equal to colligative property, final colligative property. CPF means final colligative property divided by initial colligative property. Okay, CPI means initial colligative property. Next, you can write like this. What you can take next one is here experimental colligative property or observed colligative property. Observed colligative property divided by calculated colligative property. We have to take like this, or is equal to these formulas. You can use either this one or this one, or next one, number of particles after dissociation or association, simplifying I am writing association, divided by number of particles we can take before dissociation or association. You can write like this, or association. Have you got it or not? So here these formulas we have to use to calculate I value or Van't Hoff factor. Okay, so this is we are using to balance the abnormality in the colligative properties as well as molecular mass of solutes. Okay, so up to here clear? Now only we discuss, if you take one abnormal solution, solute may involve in the dissociation, solute may involve in the association also. So for example, first I am taking first case number 1, that is solute involving in the dissociation. Up to here clear? Any doubt once you see? Okay, so next cases I am taking with the help of these formulas. Now here see, In case if you take a abnormal solution, in the abnormal solution, what do we have to do? Case 1 I am taking. Case 1 means what? That's nothing but a what? Dissociation. Okay, so we can take dissociation of solute. You can take like this, dissociation of solute. In a abnormal solution, solute is involving in the dissociation. Okay, so here you see, if it involve in the dissociation, what do we have to do? You have to get clear cut idea. Here you have to remember just one example, common example. What is that? Ax by I am taking. This is one solute. So it is getting dissociated into Xa, X moles of cations. Y comes upside, no? Criss-cross method based. Okay, plus Y moles of B anion. X goes upside, minus X. So it is dissociating like this. Everyone should remember, we have discussed about the Van 't Hoff factor. For normal solutions, you take like this. For normal solutions, I is equal to 1. Can you see this? I is equal to 1. Okay, so right. Next one, if you take abnormal solutions, if you take abnormal solution, I is not equal to 1. I is not equal to 1. We have to remember this point here. Okay, so now what we are taking? We are taking abnormal solutions. Have you got it? So abnormal solutions, if you take, so in the abnormal solutions, case 1 we are taking, that is solute is involving in the what? Dissociation. Is it clear? Right. Now what we are going to do is, first one, here just you take, this is 1 mole. Okay, initially I am taking, so therefore we can take it initially where time is equal to 0, initially 1 mole, and here 0, 0. So therefore next time t I am taking. After time t, what happened here? After time t, 1 minus alpha. Okay, so alpha is a degree of dissociation. How much is decreased or dissociated here? That means here alpha dissociated. That alpha is coming like this here. That is X alpha produced, Y alpha B produced. Okay, so this is about after t time it got dissociated like this. Okay, so now what we are going to do here is, you all know very well, I value is equal to, I value you know, no? What is that? Number of particles after dissociation divided by number of particles before dissociation. So number of particles before dissociation is 1. Okay, so right here you see this formula. After dissociation we have to add all these things. Here you can take 1 minus alpha plus X alpha plus Y alpha divided by, here you see, first initially how many? 1. Initially 1. So we can take like this. Therefore, I is equal to 1 minus alpha plus, you can take X plus Y. X plus Y alpha you can take here. Can you see this? X plus Y. So here I think you may get what is X plus Y, sir. X plus Y is equal to N I am taking, because N means number of particles after dissociation product side. You can take like this, N I am taking. Okay, so now instead of this, I is equal to 1 minus alpha plus N alpha. N alpha. So here you see this, this 1 comes this side. I minus 1 is equal to here N minus 1 alpha. The above expression we can write like this. So final step for this one is alpha is equal to, what is that? I minus 1 divided by N minus 1. Is it clear? So this is the formula which we are using to calculate degree of dissociation. This is the formula which we are using to find out the I value in the dissociation. Have you got it? Simplify, you can take like this also, no problem. Okay, n is equal to number of particles after dissociation in the product side. You can take x plus y. Is it clear? So you have to have clarity in this. Alpha is equal to what? Degree of what? Dissociation. Degree of dissociation. Okay, so here while solving the problems we need to do one thing generally. Here if alpha is equal to, very important, if alpha is equal to 100%, 100% means, alpha means what? Degree of dissociation. If alpha is equal to 100%, so then we can say it, you can take it as like a 1. Okay, so in this case what is happening? In this case I is equal to n. Very, very important. I is equal to n. In which case, if alpha is 100%, then I is equal to n. Is it clear? Any doubt? For example, in case sometimes alpha is equal to 50%, they will give. You can take dissociate percentage, degree of dissociation percentage. If they give like 50, alpha value we have to take 0.5. Okay, so if they say 100% dissociation, alpha value is 1. If they say dissociation 50%, alpha value 0.5. If they say 80%, here alpha value 0.8. That means divided by 100 we can take here. Is it clear? Any doubt in this? So this is about the case where we can use the dissociation of solute in the abnormal solution. With the help of this one, what can we do? We can calculate I value. Have you got it? I value. What is the use of I value? With the help of I value, we can balance the abnormality. So that's why we can take I value here. So if you want to calculate I value, we need this also, alpha. Okay, alpha means degree of dissociation. Generally, sometimes they will mention 100% dissociated means alpha value should be taken as like 1. If alpha is 1, you must remember alpha is equal to 1. That means 100% dissociated. Therefore, I is equal to n. Have you got it? I is equal to n. So therefore, you can take n is equal to x plus y. You should have clear-cut idea. So these are the major points. We have to focus on these points. For example, if they say 50%, alpha value, what? 0.5, 80%, 0.8. Like this, we have to take the case 1 where the solute is involving in the dissociation. Chemical example already given, I gave BaCl2, you can take like that. So now next step, what we are going to do here is, next step, that is case number 2, where association taking place, association of solute. I want to give you one chemical example for the association, then we can take this case and we can study this one. Okay, so here you see the first I want to take this one, that is example, chemical example, association of solute. Association of, we can take what? Solute. So in abnormal solutions, solute may involve in the association. That one we are taking it as like a case number 2. Case number 2. Here you see, if you take case number 2, chemical example, I am taking this one, 2 moles of benzoic acid, COOH. Okay, 2 moles I am taking here. So now in the benzene solution, here it is getting associated like this. It is getting associated like this, which means, here see, 2 moles are becoming 1 mole. 2 moles are becoming 1 mole. Here you see this with the help of hydrogen bond. So here see, they got associated. So this is the point on example for the what association of solute. Actually here what is our count? We are taking in the calculation 2 moles, but experimentally what's happening? Experimental results are giving for 1 mole. So there is a abnormality again in the colligative properties. Have you got it what I am saying here? So same manner, so this is example, chemical example for the what? Association of solute in abnormal solutions. So now we have to see the mathematical part for this. Okay, so now you see this mathematical part for this. Okay, is it clear? Right, take it down this one. Any doubt you can ask me in the comments section. Right, now you see this. Just imagine in our textbook, NCERT textbook also same thing they gave. In all other textbooks if you refer same example. Okay, I am taking here Na gives An. You take this one. Very simple. You all know very well. Initially what 1 mole I am taking here. So this here 0. Now time t you take time t. At time t 1 minus alpha. Alpha decreased here. That means alpha decreased means here alpha is becoming what? Alpha by n. So most of the people are getting confused how it is coming. One simple logic here you have to remember, that is n moles, n is 1. Just imagine like this. Okay, 1 gives this side 1 by n. Alpha if you take, that is becoming alpha by n. So this point you have to keep in your mind. This is association, not a dissociation concept. So that therefore the amount which is dissociated here, that should be taken divided by n, because those all are getting associated. So now here final step for this one, we have to calculate I value. You all know very well, I is equal to what? Number of particles after dissociation divided by number of particles before dissociation. You all know very well. Before dissociation how many particles are there? 1. After dissociation how many particles are there? 1 minus alpha plus alpha by n should be, these two should be added. So now here you see this logic. What we are going to do is here 1 minus alpha plus alpha by n divided by initially how many particles? 1 particle. So therefore here what can we do here? Simply we can take 1 minus alpha by n, right? So here this term is going towards this side. So final step what can we do? By simplifying all these things, here simplifying all these things, we can say like alpha value directly I am writing. Can I write it? Yeah, okay, you can take. Alpha is equal to I minus 1 divided by 1 by n minus 1. So this would be the alpha value. So what is that alpha, sir? Alpha is equal to here alpha, because we are taking what association. Here alpha is, what is that? Degree of association. Degree of association. We can take degree of association alpha. N is equal to what, sir? Number of particles associated. Okay, so next one. Here, next, what is this? I is equal to 1/2 factor. This is nothing but a 1/2 factor formula, no? We can take like this. Here, this is I. You can take like this. Is it clear? Have you got it? So this is about related to the association of solute in abnormal solutions. Is it clear? Any doubt in this once you check? If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. Right? Clear? Is it clear? Now what we are going to do is, everyone should focus one important point, that is here for dissociation of solute, what will happen? I value is greater than 1 for dissociation. Okay, So for the dissociation, you can take dissociation. This is for dissociation of solute. Now whereas coming to this association purpose, if you take I value is less than 1, you have to remember. So this is for association. Okay, is it clear? Any doubt? So then final step, we have discussed in detailed manner about all these factor, 1/2 factor and all. So now how to apply, sir? So what are the colligative property formulas and all? So is it clear? All of you take it down. All of you take it down. Okay. So now what we are going to do is, after completion of this one, we need to focus on one point here. What is that point? Now only we have discussed, if you take abnormal solutions, their colligative property formulas will be simply changed like this. For example, first relative lowering vapor pressure, RLVP. If you take RLVP formula, you know P naught minus PS by P naught, or you can write PS also, different expression I have given, you can see that, into what? Mole fraction of solute. This is for normal solutions. But if you take abnormal solutions, what will happen? In the abnormal solution, there is a abnormality in the colligative properties. So if you want to make them equal, what do we have to use? I factor. We have to multiply with I. Is it clear? So next one, what is that? Depression in freezing point or elevation of boiling point. You can take elevation of boiling point, delta TB is equal to I into KB into molality. You can take like this. Is it clear? Next one is, you can take next one. What is that? Here see, this I should be multiplied. I should be used. Why? Those are abnormal solutions. If normal solutions, I value is what? I value is what? In normal solutions, I value is 1. Whenever it is abnormal, then only I will be taken what? Seriously. Okay. So now you can take here next one. Delta TF you can take. TF is equal to I into KF into M, you can see here. Now one more point here. This is depression in freezing point. Here osmotic pressure, pi is equal to IMRT. So here see, all abnormal colligative properties can be here. In that colligative properties, we have to use 1/2 factors. Okay, because there is abnormality in the molar masses. All those things will be balanced by using this formulas, by using with the help of 1/2 factor. Is it clear? Any doubt in this? So up to here, total solution lesson we have finished. So now here we need to solve some simple problems on the 1/2 factor. After that, we'll go to the next lesson. Not now, in the next class. Okay, take down the problems which we need to focus on the 1/2 factor. So we can guess. Okay, problem number, you can see this, problem number 1 on the 1/2 factor. They gave, problem number 1, they gave calcium NaNO3 taken twice, and here they mentioned I value 2.4, and they are asking about alpha, the degree of dissociation. They are asking degree of dissociation. Can you see this? Okay, right. This is degree of dissociation, right. Alpha value should be calculated. If you want to calculate alpha value, they said degree of dissociation, no? So just you take CaNO3, it got dissociated into Ca3, Ca plus 2 plus 2 moles of NO3 minus. Total how many moles we are getting here? 3. This side. N value is equal to 3. because x is equal to 1, y is equal to 2. You know very well, x plus y is equal to n. X plus y is equal to n means what? What is that? 3, no? Okay. Now here dissociation formula alpha is equal to, what can we take here? Alpha is equal to n minus I minus 1 divided by n minus 1. Okay, so now all of you take here, that is 2.4 minus 1 divided by here 3 minus what? 1. This only, no? Total. Okay, done. So what is that answer? You see that? Cancel it. Take it down. 1.4 divided by 2 will come. Cancel it. So that means 0.7. 0.7 alpha value. Percentage if they ask, 70%. Is it clear? Right? We have discussed, no? So alpha value is 0.7. If they ask percentage, 70%. We can say it easily. Okay, take it down this problem. Next model, again we will go for next model. Okay, take it down. Right. Now coming to the next question. Next question on this I factor. So you take a solution, a substance forms dimer. A substance forms dimer. Dimer means n is equal to 1 by 2. Dimer. Okay. So dimer means 2 becoming 1. So that's why we have to take dimer, that like this. And they said association, how much quantity associated means 75% they said. Alpha value. And they are asking about want half factor. Want half factor. Simply, what is want half factor? I am not writing all data, time waste process, that's why given. They said dimer. Dimer means n value should be taken 1 by 2. Trimer. Trimer means 1 by 3. Like that we have to take. Okay, is it clear? So alpha value is given 75%. Alpha is equal to how much percentage getting associated? That is 75%. Okay, I is equal to what? We have to calculate this one. So here you know, I formula you know very well, I is equal to 1 minus alpha, okay, plus alpha by n. You know all about this. Okay. So now here, what do we have to do here? Very simple. We simplify this one. 1 minus, what is that common? Plus what? 1 by n minus 1. You can take into alpha. So now 1 plus 1 by 2 means 2 minus 1. So here if you 1 by 2 substitute, 2 goes upside, 2 minus, okay. So here upwards. So therefore 2 minus 1 into alpha is equal to, here this is percentage. Percentage is 75%. If you take alpha, 0.75. Okay, into 0.75 should be taken. Okay, so 1 plus 1 into the 0.75, that is equal to 1.75 is the answer. That is I value. Is it clear? Any doubt in this? So this is our complete concept related to the want half factor. Okay, so we will meet again in the next class. Till then, bye bye.